Hi, welcome back to another video, Harmony Peace. It's Mental Health Week for everybody. I think it's important to spread the love to everyone, as I like to help each and one of you individually through this time of the week. But also, I feel for me that any questions you want to ask me, any questions you like to say or DM me, this is your chance this week. Anything you need to get off your chest, anything you're not sure of, DM me and you'll get a consultation straight away. It's very important to understand Mental Health Week, to wind down, to take time out for yourself, to even to the point where you could go for a walk, have a day to yourself, walk in nature, wherever that looks to you, but also make the time for yourself, which is very important, and not to close up and not to express how you feel, because it doesn't help when you do that. And I know for hands in the past when I've done that, all it ends up doing is store in your nervous system, which nothing happens. And this way it comes to for suffering into this conversation. I see suffering is so painful where you're suffering in silence, in pain, and you don't know who to talk to. And you feel that things don't change. Listen, I've not been perfect in the past. Things that I've grown up, things that I had to kind of learn about myself, but also to face these fears, which will take time to understand what you're going through, and to understand that the way I look at it is this: if there is a problem with, say, you're struggling with fear, self-doubt, or you're suffering in silence, what tends to happen after a while, you will mask that out. If it could be a guy, it could be a girl, you'll mask that out. Over due time, that will come draining emotionally, mentally, to the point you don't function straight away, which I advise everyone out there, man, girl, doesn't matter, that you speak up, you say what's bugging you, you talk about the things that you would like to address and work on those areas, which I feel it's important to unpack, because these things, again, I'm not saying for everybody, but, depends where your life is. Because there could be times where when you've been younger, you've been conditioned and programmed in a certain way where you in your environment, which dictates to you when you're an adult, and the way you respond to people, the way you talk to people, the way you articulate and address and say how you feel, but also you can push people back and say the wrong things where that person may not want to speak to you again. But also to learn about yourself. And that's one thing I've reflected on this over the weekend, more so, as over due time, you have to connect to your inner child. Just remember, when you're younger and you're around the playground and you're talking to your friends, or you're building that connection, having a laugh and a joke, it stems from your inner child. It stems the way you shape your life as an adult, but also you have to reconnect to feel safe again, and feel safe in your body, to feel safe in your nervous system. So this could look to the point where you could journal, write these things down, how you're feeling, how your emotions are on a day-to-day, where you need to express. And you may have never had the chance to express that when you're younger, because at times you may have felt trapped. You may have been told when you're younger, and you, for example, you start crying, you've been told to stop crying, been told to man up, or, even from a woman's point of view, well, you don't need to cry, you need to be strong. Do you know what? I understand all that, but also it doesn't help to the point where you haven't had the chance to express how you feel. And this is where this perception from our views and other people's views we may come across that way, and someone might say, oh, he's horrible, he's this. But if you unpeel bit by bit, where does it come from? If the person at that point is accountable and they acknowledge what's going on, it's a start. It's a big start. And this is where sometimes we have to give credit to people out there who are trying to make effort to change. And I know it's hard, and you know, you have to give time. And also, it's just a matter of fact, I see potentially in everyone, people can change. It's how far do you want to go? And it's endless. And also to understand that you could do journaling, you could also, you know, talk to your friends, talk to someone who knows you, who knows your counterparts, even the parts that you hide behind, where you don't express your feelings, you don't talk about these things, which you mask it in a way where you go to work and you'll make that as a distraction to keep yourself busy. Because once the mind is occupied doing work, or the mind is occupied, you have less time to process what's going on in your own life. But also, it's important to process those emotions, process those feelings, and go straight in to the part of you, that shadow part. But I'm not saying to do straight away. Going back to what I said before, you can journal, you can meditate. Breath work is important because the breathing, will regulate your nervous system. And also set goals for yourself. Each goal, where do you see yourself in 5 months? How this emotion feels to you. And also you can put in the journal, how does it feel to me, and what would it feel if I'm feeling relaxed in myself? And that could form into a part of, you could have a ritual before you go to bed. Lavender, could be oils, could be books you read, not using your mobile phone. No doom scrolling, because your brain is still wired, which to the point gets a dopamine rush. It's addiction. So just before you go to bed, probably 2 hours before you go to bed, read a book. That's very important. Pick up a hobby as well. Hobby, an interest that you like. But also another thing, what we tend to do as humans is that we get comfortable doing the same hobby. Come out your comfort zone and do something completely different. You may feel uncomfortable, but also it's just a matter of learning something new. The body normally gets used to what you normally do, but if you shift it and change it where you do something completely different, at least you're learning something completely different. So that does really help in any situation. But if the hobby is something that you struggle with, go out with a friend. That helps. Somatic healing, that helps. Movement, shaking the body, that's very important as well. I feel that's something, again, you can connect with yourself, because we get, you know, I'd say pains in your mouth, you know, neck pain, shoulder pain. And these emotions are connected to your body, where you can feel stiff, but all of it from the stomach. Another thing what you could do as well is go to a sound bath. That helps to release your emotions at your nervous system, and you'll feel more relaxed and calm. But also set yourself a goal. Where do you see yourself in a year's time? Another thing what helps to change as well, because when you're suffering, you start to lose your identity. You start to not take pride in yourself as much, and you start to not take the time to give yourself self-care. Get yourself new clothes, go for massage, sauna, manicure, you know, get your nails done. And I said pedicure, let me get it straight. Didn't say that, I said manicured, get your nails done. And that helps as well, because I do it. Nails, feet, the whole lot. Self-care is very important for a guy, and even for a woman as well, which is very important. Any supplements as well, what you eat, your diet, your food. That's another thing as well. And also is what you say to yourself every day, because the things what you say to yourself can impact you on a day-to-day basis. So if you feel that I'm not good enough, I'm lonely, I can't make any friends, you can rephrase that and say, I'll be making new friends, but it's going to take me time to go out there and see other people, but the relationship will come. You can change from I'm not good enough, I'm good enough, and I'm complete, and I'm happy in myself in every way, where all my desires will come true. That's very important. And also, you say to yourself, and even to the younger self, I will keep you safe, we'll keep ourselves safe, and I'll never abandon you again. Even if you have to get a picture of your younger self, sit with it, talk to it, express how you feel, express your emotions, because there's a part of you where you feel scared, which somewhere down the line you abandon yourself when you're younger because you're trying to either please other people, help other people, carry the load, the weight. It could be from family, it could be from friends. But also what happens is that when you start to connect yourself again properly with that inner child, you feel more at peace, you feel more calm and happy. But once that's been disconnected, you start to do things and you want to get it from other people to then you want to see that, oh, they can make me happy. But once you go home and you go to bed, this is where it's important to have the hobbies. Comedy, I think it's funny. I think comedy's funny, it makes you laugh, give, a dopamine rush, but also you socialise to the places where you feel that you aligned and your energy and your vibrations are up there, and that makes a massive difference. But also always checking each week. I don't mean checking 3 months down the line, checking each week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks with someone close to you, just to see how you're getting on and you need extra help. The biggest thing I have to say as well is that when the time comes that you would like to express how you feel, these are just tools to relax, regulate your own emotions, to feel at ease, and always keep saying to yourself, things will get better, it will just take time. And even if someone says it to you, because what happens is when you're in an environment, when you're younger and you didn't feel safe, and all that suffering and that pain starts to manifest your adult, you'll start to find where you feel safe in an environment where you feel connected, and that's fine. But also just remember, you can be like that no matter where you go. But if you feel it's not right and you know you're not connecting, you just don't stay in that environment and you just pull yourself out of it and go somewhere else. Because at the end of the day, we've got to get up and mingle around wherever we're going to catch the bus, going to a shop. It could be with friends and somewhere you don't like, but as long as you protect your own energy and still be calm and relaxed in yourself. Because you know what? Like, I believe in anyone can change, and I believe anyone can, be at peace. And I just see the good in that, in anyone to help and to kind of have their purpose where they need to be. Because that's another thing as well. That suffering, you could be in a job that you don't like and you've had a dream or something that you wanted to do. You've kind of like pulled that away because you didn't think it's going to work out. That's part of fear and suffering, thinking that it's never going to happen. I've been there. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to do this. And I thought, no, I'm in the driver's seat. But also, at the same time, I've got people around me to help me, to guide me in the direction where I need to go, which is very important, that you connect and say you're still on the same path. And you always praise yourself on a day-to-day basis, even if you have to write it down, even if the smallest thing, which you said, you know what, I've done good today. Prime example, today, I went gym, I went yoga, I've meditated. That to me was achievement itself. But also, it's just making sure that I nurture myself. I make sure I check in and give my self-care what I need to wind down for the night, and also when I get up in the morning, which is very important, and that consistency as well. And yes, there will be times that suffering that you feel inside will start to peel away slowly, like bit by bit, because these things like yoga, meditation, journaling, breath work, Reiki, even the books, somatic healing, all these things will actually help. And I'll dive more into the next video and the next video. But also, I have to say this, as going back to the beginning of the video, I did say it's Mental Health Week. So you all can DM me, for woman to a man, doesn't matter. This is important to open up the doors and feel that Mental Health Week is about reaching out to everyone out there much as possible. So please, please email me, message me on Instagram. And you know what, ever since I come back after the weekend, it's opened my eyes in a massive way where I've been, because one thing I have to say, anything's possible you put your mind to. But when you're going through that place where you have to face your own shadow, take your time to understand where it stemmed from. When I was younger, whatever that was, mine was no one used to listen to me. What was you like at school? Who did you hang around with? And then just start answer those questions slowly, and you start to connect the dots. But also, if you feel it's overwhelming, you always have someone with you, like a friend, or again, speak to me before you start making those stages, all those leaps. Anything that you're not sure of, anything that I've missed out, or you feel that you would like more questions to be answered, or anything that you want to throw back at me and let me know. This is very, very, very important, because I believe everyone out there individually has a chance to blossom and shine the light the way you want your life to be, and be the best version you can be. Thank you again for this opportunity to do this video, because end of the day, we have our moments, we have our up downs, and we're all not perfect, but also we can acknowledge it, understand it, connect to it, and build and grow every day, which I believe growing is massive. You can evolve, be the best version you can be, which I believe in anyone out there can be, do what they can, and focus what they want in their own life. And I'm so happy that after the weekend, it just opened my eyes, and I have to big one shout out to the Soul family. It was amazing. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful. See you again in the next video. Goodbye.